Welcome back to all our friends, family, and yes, even our foes. To the Foxx Den Sports Podcast, where Todd and his sports-passionate kids are ready to bring you the latest updates and insights on all things sports. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Now, here are your hosts, Kellen, Garrett, Gannon, and coming to you from the Foxx Den, their dad, Todd Foxx.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Foxx Den Sports Podcast. Along with Kellen, Garrett, and Clay, I'm Todd. And we got a lot of good information we're going to talk about tonight. First off, we want to talk about someone that's new and dear to our heart. Not new and dear, but dear to our heart. I don't know what the rest of it is. But Oklahoma City Thunder defeated Minnesota Timberwolves last night, 130-123. And they play again tonight. So I don't know if you guys want to go over, Gannon. I don't know if you got some information that you're thinking about, but I know a lot to talk about that game. What was your thoughts?
Well, can I first introduce Gannon to the
Did I not say Gannon? Who did I say? Garrett? Did I say Garrett?
Yeah.
Man, Gannon's been gone so long. I can't see it. Hold on. I don't have my glasses on.
You should have said Gannon.
Yeah, it is Gannon.
You should have said he's so much better looking than Garrett. So.
Yeah, it's true. My glasses were fogged up because of his hotness. So there you go.
He's straight up, no cap.
Yeah, no kidding. All right, Gannon, what do you got?
I mean, what do you mean? I mean, I thought it was a fine win. We were smoking them in the first half.
Yeah,
or
we were
the first quarter, sorry. We started slow, lit it up, then we just gave it right back to them.
Yeah.
I think Jalen Williams has had a very disappointing year, and I don't think he can be the second best offensive player on any championship team. Because against like rando teams, he'll go off and we'll be like, man, he's just so good. But every time we face a big team, whether it's playoffs or just a normal regular season game like last night, every time the game is up to him, after like Shai goes to the bench and we need him just to keep our head above water during those minutes, he totally just, like, the game is just out of his control. And he just had so many dumb turnovers. That was my biggest takeaway from last night, is that the team without Shai has not been very good this year. And we weren't expecting to admit that after last year, because last year we were just phenomenal, like all the way around. But I think with the expectation we had to take a step further, paired with the reality of what's going on right now, it's been pretty underwhelming, the non-Shai minutes. Because if this is our first year being this good, we wouldn't care because it would just be that good. Yeah. But I kind of expected us to be able to hold our own better when Shai's not on the court. And anytime he wasn't on the court, totally lost control. Anytime he came back within 2 minutes, you just felt so much more comfortable because it was all back in his control. But still a good win. I thought the crowd was pretty dead for how good of a game it was and good of like a matchup it was. But like the crowd, like home court was not any advantage at all. Like there was one time I thought of a way that they could have like done a sneaky little play on defense or offense, to get a wide open shot. And I was like, the crowd wouldn't have even like called it out to help the Minnesota team. I was just thinking about it, and I was like, that crowd seemed to me super dead. Like playoff like environment, game wise, like very hectic, lots of choppy going around here and there, lots of bad turnovers, but then lots of good plays. But they had everything playoff like during the game. But I mean, the crowd had no impact on that at all. Anyways,
no cap. I agree with you. Clay, what do you got? You got any stats you want to talk about, or you want to talk about the game? What do you got?
Yeah, I'll talk about the game. That was straight up 8, Gannon, because what I'm saying is I agree with it, and but I think they're trying to make it work with their second group that they haven't played together much this year, and so I think that's where the problem is Caruso's been in and out. Obviously, Chet and Hardenstein's had their moments out. Is it Wiggins? Is it Kendrick Williams is going to play? Is it we haven't had AJ Mitchell in a while, and we haven't had Or how much is Jiang gonna play? And I mean all that kind of stuff. And so I think they're Jay Will barely got in the game last night. Did he at all?
I don't think he didn't.
I remember a couple possessions.
Yeah,
Jay Will. I don't think he played.
Did he?
But go ahead. I don't think so. Not last night.
I just think that he'll probably play a ton tonight unless he's hurt.
Yes,
that I don't know about.
He'll play Chet's out.
But I think that's the issue is that they're trying to figure out that second group, and but I agree with everything Gannon's saying with where the problems are.
My only thing is that you're totally right, but out of all of that situation that we're in, Jalen Williams is supposed to be the one consistent player who isn't any hiccup, because it makes sense that maybe Chet is a little bit of a hiccup. First game's back in a while. Hartenstein with the pairing, Zhang in and out. Wiggins has some inconsistent minutes. All these guys have reasons to be tonight they were a little choppy, and it's fair. Williams is literally the only player within that mix that I don't think has really an excuse to have that bad of a play for a whole entire game.
Kellen, any thoughts?
I mean, I don't think he's played terrible. He had some really high momentum-changing plays, like his half-court shot. He had sometime in the second quarter when they were on kind of a tear, I can't remember who brought the ball up court, but he stole that thing and popped it out and just took off, took it, got us some points and helped with momentum. Scoring-wise, Chet, 8 for 11 for 19. He did pretty well. Hart, 6 for 8. But Wiggins and Joe were
Wiggins saved us that
crazy.
Was it second or third quarter, and then Caruso saved us too.
Caruso started
3 threes in the fourth.
I told him I was I want this guy needs to stop touching the ball. And then by the fourth quarter, though, he was saving us in the fourth. But before that, he airballed one, and it took him a bit to get going offensively. Defensively, he was still putting everything into it. But I can't figure out what goes on when Shai's on the bench, because it's okay, we got Wiggins and Joe coming off the bench. We still got a great defensive unit, but how are we letting these teams go 15-16-4 run? I don't know, but if they can get that figured out, the biggest thing I want to see is better rebounding. Chet
for sure.
For 12.
Yeah,
they got to be better at rebounding. Now, granted, once those teams
had
got
9
going,
of those.
There was good defense going on both sides, I felt, but once the teams got going, shots were just going in. It didn't matter.
Busting, man.
It was ridiculous. There wasn't a whole lot of rebounds to be had towards the end, but I needed them to do a little better on the rebounding. But that's about. I mean, Shai for MVP. That's all I know. We're gonna be fine as long as he's
I'm not even kidding. He's one of the best players I've ever seen play basketball. I'm obviously biased when I say that, but I don't think that's
No, you're not Delulu, man. You're good.
But I mean, he was going crazy.
I don't know what the slang is, but I don't even know what that means.
What is it? I love you, man. Didn't you say that to him one time?
Whenever I met him, I was just man, I just love you so much. He was just looking at me. But
That's funny.
Here's the thing, because Kellen, you mentioned what happens whenever he goes to the bench and other teams just seem to totally take control. It's I never saw this until we had Chris Paul, because up until then we had Westbrook, who was all out of sorts.
Sure.
Paul George, who very inconsistent. But if a team was on a roll or they really figured out how to play, Chris Paul would always just have some safe shot that he'd always make. You would just have a little off the pick, just get a little mid-range in. Doesn't matter if they went on a 10-0 run just then, he's got 2, and that's all you can do with that possession. And Shai's adapted that in the last few years of this team might have really good play offensively, or we may have a good defensive possession. And when you need that shot, and it may not always go in, but it's at least encouraging if it's a good shot.
Sure.
He always has that shot ready, and he always hits it. And then whenever Jalen Williams has to have that moment after they go on an 8-0 run, he jacks up either some dumb shot or just dribbles it off his foot, and I don't understand. I don't understand why. Though. True, and I think that's another thing too is our expectations are making it a little more of a highlighted underwhelming.
Yeah.
Because if we didn't have expectations, we would still be pleased. But I kind of expected him to be a lot better this year.
But I will say, after in the third quarter, like they were knocking out threes, and Shai would just come up and knock out a two just to like just a easy
Keep our
high
head above
percentage
water.
two, just to keep us close until we really started rolling, and that's what kept us alive that whole time.
Yeah.
Well, I know Shai had 30. Go ahead. We got.
I was going to say they ended the first half on a 30-9 run, and we were only down 2.
Yeah, that's a good point. That is crazy.
That's very Shai had 37 points, 8 assists, 3 steals. Chet 19 points, 4 rebounds, 3 blocks. J-Dub 18 points, 9 assists, 3 steals, and Hartenstein 12 points, 9 rebounds. I mean, it wasn't a playoff game. I don't want to say it was a playoff atmosphere, but we blew a 19-point lead at one time. And Minnesota, for whatever reason, just couldn't get over like a 7-point lead. They would get to that point, and then we would crank it down a little bit. To me, I mean, even though it's not playoffs, but it shows something, in my opinion, of what the team's made of. We need a game like this on the road. We need a game like this even at home, because we're going to go up against some tough competition once playoff starts, right? Minnesota, they were in the conference finals last year, I believe, against Dallas, weren't they?
Yeah.
So this is a good team. But once we get going, I mean, we're busting after that, man. I mean, we are fantastic. You know what I mean? So, but what we can't do, in my opinion, can't get dominated on the glass and not win the turnover battle. Minnesota 44 rebounds, Oklahoma City 37. We both had 13 turnovers.
We played pretty sloppy that first half with the turnovers. Like, it was unforced. And like Shai had just some uncharacteristic turnovers that I was just
no
cap.
And I don't know if anybody cares to hear about the refs, but they had 2 terrible calls in the big moments of the game. One where Shai threw it and it got tipped and went out of bounds. They'd called it out on him, and then one
Conley touched it,
a little sus.
And then one, it was Conley trying to draw the charge. He was moving with his heels above the restricted line, and they still gave it to them in a challenge. And I was it was unreal. Like, it was one of those where it happened. And I wasn't even stressing, because I was like, okay, we got it under control. Yeah. Both times it was just like, it made no sense. Anyway,
I think the worst one, honestly, the third one, was when I don't remember the Timberwolves player shoved Dort on the
shoved
rebound,
him like 2.5 feet,
and they said, "Oh, there wasn't any evidence." Yeah, it was McDaniels.
I think it was McDaniels. He just
got the rebound, and then Dort fouled him, and so then he got. I was like, "Oh, Lord."
Yeah, if anything, like, they missed a call on us while Edwards was driving. So I was like, you didn't call that.
Yeah.
But then you call the shove. You can't push a linebacker 2 feet when he's not in the air and not assume that's a lot of contact.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was pretty frustrated with that one too. I think that was the worst.
Definitely not extra on that.
Bet. No cap.
I don't know what this is, but
here's my question. If it was a playoff game, who most likely would not get some of those minutes? And I've got a few players like Shane. Dylan Jones ain't going to play. What about J. Will and Kenrich? Because I don't know. It all depends on maybe a foul trouble with either Hartenstein or.
I think the deal with like J. Will is when we made that little run in the fourth and started just when we went small, is because Minnesota's not big, so it just depends on the matchup on how much J. Will play. Because Chet and Hartenstein's going to get the minutes, and J. Will, he'll get like we said, he'll get the minutes tonight because Chet's sitting. But if we're playing the Mavericks, J. Will's going to play a bunch, and against all their big dudes. So, I'm with you on. I think Williams is done, Jones is done, and when it comes to the playoffs, and I think the rest of the guys will get their normal minutes.
I don't want Mitchell to play playoff minutes, because
you talking about AJ?
Even once he comes back, because I can picture it now, because he's way too aggressive on defense. Like, you can hustle and be aggressive, but he is way overly aggressive, and I can just picture it now. Like, we'll be playing the Clippers or something, like not a very good team. We'll have a 9-point lead. They'll make a couple of good shots. They got all the momentum, and then you got Harden matched up on him. He's just going to draw an easy foul. Like, I can just picture them getting every bit of momentum solely through attacking him on defense, because he's just way too aggressive. And I don't think Jalen Williams is a good center at all, so I hope he doesn't really play in the playoffs.
You know, Holmgren, Hartenstein, Dort, Shai are going to be the main guys, right? And J-Dub. But then you're talking the next four are probably, and not in order, but just Caruso, Wiggins, Wallace, and Isaiah Joe, right? Wouldn't you think those would be like the top 9?
For sure. And then Williams, if we need a bit of a, like, I guess you could say like a side game manager.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But, yeah. Well, I know this, like last year, this team didn't seem like they could stay afloat whenever Chet went to the bench because they didn't have any bigs in there. Hopefully this year.
That's a good point.
It will be fixed. Now, one thing also, here's something that's very chuggy to me. 6 games in 9 days are coming up. We play Minnesota tonight. We go at Brooklyn on Wednesday, Friday at Atlanta. Kellen, you'll be there. On the 2nd of March, it's a Sunday, we're playing San Antonio with Victor out for the season, and then turn around right Monday night against Houston here.
Brutal.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Doesn't make any sense.
Chuggy. Little Delulu right there, man, if you ask me. But hey. Yeah. So, Kellen, you're going to go to the game. What are your thoughts, man? How excited are you to see the Thunder come to town?
I've been waiting all year and then some. Literally, when I found out when they were going to be here, just been waiting. My biggest fear is that the Hawks aren't great, and Shai's not even going to play a good chunk of that game.
He'll probably play 20 minutes.
That's what I'm
saying.
You think? I would drop. He'll probably hit 35 points and within like 30 minutes and then sit. But yeah, I can't wait.
What I thought was cool last night's game, they were talking about, Shai's the number 1 scorer in the league, and then the guy said he's set out, I think, 14 games of the whole entire fourth quarter, I think is what he said, which is amazing.
You going to wear that drip you got on there, Kellen?
Kellen's got some drip going, doesn't he?
Some of it, yeah. I got a Thunder hat on the way.
Nice. No cap, man. No cap. Clay, let's transition to a little Oklahoma basketball, shall we? You got any information you want to talk about?
Big win for them this weekend. I mean, beating a ranked team. I mean, we talked about that last week, how every team they have left is ranked. Going to be a tough ending, and they ended up getting a win over a ranked team, which, I mean, I figured they probably got to get at least 2 and maybe a win in the tournament to make the tournament, to make the NCAA tournament, and win in the SEC tournament, I guess is what I was trying to say, and then to make it. So they got Kentucky on Wednesday, which you and Todd and I will be at. Watch a little Sooner Wildcats game. That'll be fun, getting to see Kentucky in Oklahoma. But they got a tough schedule with Ole Miss, Missouri, all ranked teams still, but they need to get one of them, and I think they can. I mean, they played pretty good. Their biggest thing that they've had against A&M, against LSU. I feel like there's one other team that they just didn't close it out right there at the end, and I thought they were up 10 with like a minute 43, and I thought they're going to lose this game, and they tried, but they held it together this time and didn't turn it over. Made some good plays. They made some good plays throughout. I mean, their biggest thing is they're just so poor in fundamentals, and but they played some good basketball on Saturday. So looked like they'd kind of maybe they're turning it around. Hopefully it's not just a 1-game thing, but I sure would like to see them make the tournament, the NCAA tournament this year.
No, I agree 100%. I can't wait to go to the Kentucky game. I said last week I grew up loving Kentucky. I mean, I'm obviously a Sooner fan, but Kentucky was somebody I always rooted for ever since I was a little guy. Be for the Sooners. I don't know.
Kelly going to wear a Shai Kentucky jersey to the game?
She did talk about that. The only thing, I mean, I know they got a game, I think, that night. So she was wanting to see if he would.
I was just about to ask, what day is it on?
Yeah, I don't think she was going to wear that one, but we'll see. It'll be fun. Not too familiar, like I said, with the Sooners there. I know freshman Jeremiah Fears was named the freshman SEC Player of the Week, which is fantastic. 27 points, 10 career high, 10 assists. I mean, in the Mississippi game. So we're 17-10 and 4-10 in the SEC.
Yeah, that kid is locked in, man. He's good. He's probably a potential first rounder at some point. I don't know about this year, but he could get there.
So what do you think they got to win out? What do you think they got to do?
No, I think they got to. What they got 4 left?
Yeah, they got 4 left.
I think if they win 2 of the 4 and then get 1 in the SEC tournament, they should be in. Because that'd be 2 more ranked wins.
Yeah. Who do you see that coming against?
Kentucky hasn't been playing great, so I could see Kentucky. Any of the 4. I mean, what do we got? Ole Miss, Missouri,
Texas,
and Texas. I could see them. Missouri's playing well. I could see Ole Miss and Kentucky being the wins, but I think Ole Miss and Missouri are away. Definitely. But we don't really have much of a home court advantage because nobody comes to the games.
No, and they don't, and that's what they did back. You win, they're going to come. I think whenever the new stadium gets built, you'll see more people probably come just to check it out at the beginning. But you got to have a good team there. What do you guys think? Who's the best basketball conference right now? I mean, do you have any thoughts or?
It's by far it's the SEC. They got the most ranked teams. I mean, Big 12's got some really good teams. ACC's got the top good teams. Big 10 has dropped a little bit, but they all still have some good teams. But there's no doubt if you take from the number of teams, I mean, the SEC is predicted to get 13, and that's including OU to get in the tournament. And so that's a lot of teams when you only got 16 in the whole league.
Oh, 100%. No, I agree. Did I read something correctly that the KU is out of the top 25 for the first time in I don't know how long?
4 years.
How many?
4 years.
Man.
They were preseason ranked number 1.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to act like I'm heartbroken for them, but they're good. Definitely good.
Houston is very good. Big 12 team. And I think if they win tonight, they're probably going to win the Big 12.
But they're never let Kellen Sampson leave.
Yeah. Over some
Foxx Den Sports.
Okay.
Sorry, Clay. Hey, couple quick questions. Have you seen the Rams have given Matt Stafford the okay to seek a trade? And so I guess my question would be, I know he's a little bit up there in age, but what teams could you possibly see him going to help make a difference? And then also at the same time, Aaron Rodgers, if he decides to come back, where do you see him fitting in? Because some teams that need quarterbacks, you got the Raiders need a quarterback. You got Pittsburgh, Minnesota. Like I heard somebody say Minnesota for either one of them. What are your guys' thoughts on either of those quarterbacks?
I don't want him, but it seems like a move the Colts would probably try to make.
Yeah, and then what's funny is I heard Aaron Rodgers and the Colts too. I did hear that one. I did. Because they did the who was it? I know Phillip Rivers. Didn't they do Matt Ryan? And then I thought there was another one, but I know they did the.
You can count Joe Flacco, but his was different.
Yeah, Carson Wentz, those kind of guys they try to go with.
The Browns need a quarterback.
Yeah, they do, but I just don't see them making any kind of big move like that.
They don't got any money.
No, they don't.
They're still paying for massages.
Aaron Rodgers, though, if you're in that position.
What about would you say? Would you even want him? I don't know, man. I think I'd take Stafford over him, honestly. But I just don't know
if I would want either.
I think Stafford in Minnesota would be great, but I just don't see them making that move. What about the 49ers? Is there any chance? Because I know they got Brock Purdy.
Minnesota's not getting anybody because they got McCarthy coming back.
Yeah, I know.
And Sam Darnold still.
Yeah, I just don't know. I'm looking at the list of quarterbacks where some of these guys could go.
Well, a lot of teams got their guys.
Yeah, they do.
I mean,
personally, I want to see
the Browns, the Raiders, and who was the other one?
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh, but they got their guy. Browns and Raiders seem to be the only two that don't really have. I mean, I guess Browns kind of do, but Raiders about the only ones that doesn't have their person.
Sure.
And I mean, so I think if Stafford but then I could see Aaron Rodgers going to the Rams.
Yeah.
If Stafford left.
I agree. Kellen, you wouldn't want any of them, huh? Preferably. Well, I mean, granted, they are older, but I get that.
Backups.
You know that, yeah. As a backup, you know their ceiling. At least get a random dude that hasn't played much and is young. He might not be good, but.
Well, what I'm asking, could Stafford? Let's just say, could he go to Minnesota, and they have a real shot at the Super Bowl next year?
I think it would have been more obvious if that's all they needed.
Because Sam Darnold played a good year. Like, I don't see Matt Stafford doing better.
Crumbled in the end.
Yeah.
But I think, I think if Sam Darnold was the only thing that
Right. What about?
I mean, I don't see anybody coming in. I don't see Stafford doing better than he did.
What about Pittsburgh? Either one of them, him or Rodgers.
I just don't know why I would.
They got
capitalize on a 2 year.
They got offensive line issues. Which Rodgers, I wouldn't want him on that with that offensive line.
All they care about is going 9-8 every year. As long as they can do that, they'll be fine. They could grab one of those guys and do that.
I want to see one of them go to the Raiders. I really, really would like to see the Raiders. Just see what they could do, because that division is. If the Raiders could land one of those, that's a pretty tough division. I mean, it's already a tough division as it is, but it would even be more and more. All right, guys. Got 2 questions for you. Here's the first one. For $10 million, but you could only eat foods with the letter P for the rest of your life, would you do it? What kind of foods could you have?
Starting with P or just AP in there?
No, starting with P.
For the rest of our lives? How long?
Pizza.
$10 million. Rest of your life.
Oh.
Pie, pizza, pasta.
Potatoes.
Pizza, pasta.
Which
Potatoes.
is a good diet.
Potatoes.
Peas.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could do it.
What else?
Pizza alone could do it.
Peppers.
Yeah. Paprika. Just kidding.
Pickles.
Papaya. Pineapple. Pomegranate.
Man,
Parmesan.
$10 million.
Pears.
My life.
Pancakes. Pistachios. Peaches.
Ooh.
That was a good little stretch you had there.
Here, I'm having to look it up because I don't know.
Yeah.
I will tell you one thing though. You would be able to drink water, okay? Because you can't live without water, so you would at least be able to drink water. I don't know.
I'd like to try and be straight up bougie the rest of my life.
Yeah. No cap, Clay.
There's a lot of fruit: pineapple, pear, plum, pomegranate, pecans.
Pecans? Oh, pecans.
Oh, I might do it actually. I don't know if there's any fruit, but there's plenty of pecans and all that.
$10 million the rest of your life. See, the only thing is,
I'm doing it. $10 million is a lot.
Yeah.
I'll be eating potatoes and pizza only, so my rest of my life's not going to be that long. I can do that.
Pop-Tarts?
Pop-Tarts. Well, and if you get that much money, you could buy a chef, and they would make some bomb pea food that wouldn't even make you think about it.
Yeah. Somebody asked, like pizza, could you eat like a sausage pizza because it starts with an S on sausage?
I think so.
You could eat pepperoni.
If it's pizza.
Well, I mean,
I'm ordering a pizza. Oh, what toppings would you like? Sausage. It's not a sausage
breakfast
pizza.
pizza
With sausage.
Yeah. That'd be like having pancakes with blueberries in it. I mean, come on, it's pancakes. That's a P word.
I agree. I just want to make sure.
Popcorn.
Ooh,
little popcorn.
Ooh, yeah.
I'm all in. I could.
10 million?
I'm doing it. Yeah, that's plenty. 10 million.
Pop.
I'm never going to see that much money.
You could do pop. Soda
Pop?
pop.
Yeah, you could drink pop.
$1,000 and I'll do it right now.
For the rest of your life.
That's about all I want to eat anyway.
I'm trying to see if I can find it. Pot roast.
Oh,
pot pie.
Pot pie.
Ooh, yeah.
What is
rolling with it?
You got plums, pita bread,
pomegranates.
Yeah.
Plum
what is
cup?
this?
What'd you say?
All right. Here's something you're gonna be able to
bring plum and apricots. They sell it at Sam's. It's incredible.
Peanut butter. Oh, pickles,
Peanuts.
plantain, peanuts. Hey, what is this? PHO. It looks like faux, but is that how it's pronounced?
Chinese food.
Is that it's pronounced faux?
I have no idea.
Yeah, it's like our Taiwanese or something like that kind of food.
You ever had it? You had it?
I'm thinking it's kind of. I'm gonna guess it's kind of like ramen.
It's Vietnamese and it's pronounced pho.
Pho?
What is it? Pho noodles?
Pho?
It's a lot like ramen.
I got no idea.
I like ramen better, but it is a lot like ramen.
I didn't know ramen.
I only had it once.
Can you have like pea flavored things like peach, peach this, peach that,
peach what?
Pie.
Oh, peach pie. Like, can you have like peach flavored things and
peach water,
peach ice cream,
peach tea?
What water did you get me hooked on at Sonic? What was that? You remember? Yeah,
mango water. Wait,
mango. That's Never mind.
Did I get you hooked on that?
Yeah, I love it.
I don't know.
Not, by the way, there's not a P in mango or water.
I understand. What I said though is you got to be able to drink water because you can't survive without water.
But you also said
mango.
what foods would you eat, not drinks. So you can drink whatever you want.
Nah, I didn't say that.
You did. You said food.
I'm going to lemonade.
Can you have milk in there?
That's a little chuggy, man. A little chuggy. All right. Here is my what?
I'm in 10 million.
Same.
Last question. If you could you could live on any TV show right now, if you had to be stuck on a TV show for a month, which one would you want to be stuck on?
Can I die?
I don't want you to die. No. Why?
He's asking
is
if
it possible for
he doesn't want to go Walking Dead and not make it back.
And then just die, yeah.
And like never come back or just for a month and then come back?
That's what he's asking. He's asking the consequences.
Like if I go in like some crazy show where I just die, like is that it, or is it impossible for me to die for that month?
It's impossible for you to die for that month.
Oh,
I mean, you're not going to sit there and go. Well, whatever.
Let's submit a
too many sidebars.
Ooh, smell like a good pick.
Tell me, what do you got?
Submit a Flash. Everybody got powers in Flash.
Mood, man. I'm going to go with Andy Griffith's show.
Okay.
That'd be like boring as heck.
Exactly. There's no crime. Everything's cheap.
Yeah, you could chill for sure.
And I'm probably going to get in trouble for saying this, but everybody's single in that show.
Ooh, they are. They are.
They are.
Actually,
well,
that's a good answer. I was laughing at first, but I take that back. That's a good answer.
I mean, that's
busting. Friends. I'll just hang out with all those guys. I think
cap,
be
man.
A great 7th edition.
Yeah. I mean, you have people fixing your car for free. Floyd getting you a haircut. I mean, you got everything you need.
I don't know. Floyd's a little sus to me, but hey, I don't know.
He might be that. No cap.
Kellen, what about you? What TV show?
I said Friends.
Friends?
I think I'd make a great 7th edition to that squad.
7th edition.
Friends? Why Friends?
It's great. It's funny. I'm funny. I think I'd fit right in.
What happened if you didn't fit in for
the
a
rent
month?
in their New York is outrageously cheap compared to what it really is. So I'd get to live the New York life for a month.
The problem is I've seen I think 3 shows all the way through.
Okay.
What? So I don't have a whole lot to.
You've only seen 3 episodes of Friends?
No, sorry. I've seen 3 TV show series all the way through.
Oh, what are those 3?
It's just The Office, The Middle, and Stranger Things. So I could say a different show, but I wouldn't have much credibility as to why I'm saying it. That being said, if I couldn't die, I think Stranger Things would be pretty sick.
Sure. Yeah, if I couldn't die.
If I was just invincible for a month, I could just I don't know what I would do, but it'd also be cool just to live in the 80s. People always what's the word? Is it romanticize the 80s whenever they watch a show like that?
That's why Todd and I are so cool. We grew up in the 80s.
That's right, man.
Yeah, if I could just get a dose of that, that's all I would really need after living there for a month.
Okay.
Hang around us two. Well, oh wait, you have.
What would
you
you
got a
do?
drip going on and everything.
What'd you say, Kellen?
Dad do Young and the Restless or something like that.
Oh yeah, he'd love to take Victor's spot somehow. He'd
Bold,
be challenging the whole month.
I'd be the returning son that he never knew he had.
He'd probably say Hawaii 5-0 or something.
Todd Newman.
Now, for me, it'd be timeless. You know, be able to go back in time.
Is that the show we watched?
Yeah.
Is that a show?
Awesome. Yeah, that show is awesome.
Timeless? I never even heard of it.
It went out. Well, yeah, because all the shows that I like get nixed, but it's a time travel show, and I'd love to go time travel.
I guess it wasn't timeless. It's no longer.
I forgot about that show. That show would be awesome, actually.
A little Delulu. Yeah, no, I think it'd be great.
Here's my guess. I thought you were going to say
Seinfeld.
Well, that would have been one. I thought you were going to say 90210.
Ooh. You know what? I may have to change my mind. Yeah.
I haven't seen Dad
later years
in decades.
He loved that show, man. He knew everything about everything in that show.
I forgot all about that show. I may have to do that. Pretty cool. All right. Well, the Foxx Den Sports Podcast, we'd like to thank all of our listeners for taking time out of your day to listen to our podcast. We know you got a lot of things going on. Do us a favor. Give us some comments on YouTube, on any kind of media that we're on. What is it? Streaming on all these different, what do you call those things? Platforms? I don't even know. But yeah.
No cap, man.
No cap. I don't know what's going on. But if you would, let us know. Let us know some other things you'd like to hear us talking about. Give us a like. Give us a subscribe. That'd be fantastic. But I want to remind everyone that iron sharpens iron. Please stay safe, be savage and not average, and remember to join the skulk. What else, Kellen?
Don't forget to stay thirsty, my friends.
That's right. Stay thirsty, my friends. No cap.
Buzzing.
For Kellen, Gannon, and Clay. Have a great week, folks. Good. Bye, everybody. That was bussin'.
Thank you for listening to the Foxx Den Sports Podcast. Be sure to subscribe for free to our YouTube channel, Foxx Den Sports. And also follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Foxx Den Sports and on Facebook at Foxx Den Sports Podcast. You can also email us at foxdensports@yahoo.com. This has been Foxx Den Sports.